That's pretty hard to call because of the variegated and extremely fragmented nature of the so-called opposition, considering there's some 107 groups. And of course, the Syrian army has been deployed there and is doing its level best to prevent that sort of support and reinforcement. So that is really hard to say.
And to what extent are divisions amongst international supporters, the West and the Gulf countries bankrolling different elements of the opposition? To what extent is that situation compounding these divisions?
That's a serious problem. Actually, the Arab lands or the Middle East certainly are susceptible to various levels of intervention. Syria is particularly a special case, and of course there are international, regional, and local aspects to that intervention. The problem in Syria is that the several levels have, I would say, preceded the domestic one in Syria, and because of that, there are different groups with different agendas and different allegiances supported by different states. And it makes a settlement, a political settlement, a coherent one, or a transition that would maintain the state and maintain the cohesiveness of Syrian society that much more difficult, in fact problematic, if not intractable.
Indeed, because away from the battlefield on the political front, we're also seeing a fractured opposition. I mean, just in the last day or two, we've seen this setting up of the new Syrian Revolution Council. Do you think that's a good thing, or is it a bad thing?
Well, it's obviously always a good thing for the Syrian opposition, as it were, to develop a unified, coherent, transitional program, but that is not happening. You see already that there is division in fighting over power, and this titular head of the FSA, forgotten his name, Assad, I believe, has a keen eye on what goes on in the Syrian National Council, and seems to be concerned over their pronouncements concerning transitional arrangements, suggesting that suggesting a future of infighting for power in Syria.
Indeed. Okay, Issa Khalaf, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for sharing your thoughts with us.